Hello everybody, this is Jasmina, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Elegant Virtue Nobleman Star. And as by the name, I think you can understand or predict that this is an auspicious symbolic star. And when present, especially if it has some other features which I will talk about, it creates quite a smooth life without serious problems. You'll still have problems, they just won't be really serious where they cause you a lot of emotional pain. Now, this doesn't directly impact your wealth unless you have yet another star or another set of properties, but you are unlikely to become involuntary unemployed. That is, you're not likely to be fired and you're not likely to be laid off. And you are generally a little bit more likely to have a better than average paying job compared to most of the people around you. So it does have some good wealth potential, but if it's to be really good, you also have to have some other features. Now, your marriages are likely to be happier than average, and this doesn't mean divorce. There are people who are widowed. You know, car accidents are one of the bigger things, of course, but there are, other things. If your spouse is a soldier, that could happen at any point in time. So there are all kinds of reasons why you may have more than one marriage, and both or all could be good marriages. Now, you are also likely to meet helpful people and be helpful yourself. And so when you're helpful to other people, most people will give back. That is, they will help you when they can. Sometimes they're not able to, but if they can, they do usually want to help after you've helped them, of course. Now, additional features in your chart can boost the quality of this formation, and I will talk about those, but first I'll talk about the general way this is formed. Now, the strictest interpretation requires that the formation must occur with your month branch as the focus, and not any of the other branches. However, others state that this can happen in any of the three branch or any of the four total. But they have slightly different interpretations, and the interpretations are like the normal kind that you do for the year. That's older people or the public and so forth, and the hours, your kids or your ideas. The standard way of interpretation. Now, this is a much more complicated formation than you've seen so far, and all parts must be met. So it used to be we just have a focus and then a completion. Here we have a focus and three things are needed for the completion. So it is more complicated and, of course, not so common. And it is said it's quite rare, and if you do restrict it to a month branch, there's really a very slim chance. But if you say any pillar can have this, the chance is better, but it's still not that common. As with all stars, there cannot be a clashing in the branch, that is whichever is your focus branch, can't be clashed. And you can't have any stems that are countered that are parts of the formation. You can have well, in this case, you really can't have any stems that are countered because it's we have three stems you have to have, and so you would have a bad relationship between two of them if the fourth one is involved. So really no countering in the stems and no clash in the branch. So this is very different than the other tables I've shown you, but these groups of animals, and like I say, standardly it's just the month, but these groups of animals come from the three harmony groups. So you've seen this before, it's nothing new. So we have the tiger, the horse, and the dog. That's one group. Then we have the monkey, rat, and dragon. That's the second group. The snake, the rooster, and the ox is another group. And then the pig, rabbit, and goat is the last group. And you have to have, so this is the focus. All of this is the completion. So you have to have both of these stems somewhere in your chart. It does not have to be the month, but it has to be somewhere. So you must have both yang earth and yin water in your chart. And that's still not enough. You must also have one of the fires, either yang or yin fire. So you'll have to have 3 specific stems for each one of these animals as your month branch. And it's simple enough to state, but this is a lot more complicated than the others. And these stems refer only to the heaven stems, not the hidden stems. That is my understanding. And because otherwise it's a lot easier to have if you include the hidden stems. So it's only the heaven stems, so the top row. And again, you should first look in the month branch because that's the only one that is truly recognized by everyone as valid. And so I'm going to go through this one with an example so that it's a little clearer because this is pretty confusing. So let me just give you a couple examples. I think it'll make it a little clearer. So let's say you have the tiger. This could also apply for the horse or the dog, but let's just start with the tiger. You have to have both yang earth and yin water. If you have one and not the other, you do not have it. In theory, this could come in through a luck pillar, but it doesn't state that that is possible. Of course, it also doesn't state it's not possible. So I suppose it is. The book by Patrick Chu is getting a little bit more lax as we go on and not explaining everything. So I've been having to do a lot more research outside. But once you have both of these, you still have one more step. You must also have either the yang fire or the yin fire. And these are all in the heaven stem, and we don't care what pillar it is, but it's all in the heaven stem. So this is the easy one. So you can do that for most of it. Now we'll go on to the more complicated one. And again, you look in your natal chart first. That's the first place to look. Then maybe consider the luck pillar. So here is an actual chart that looks like this. And so we're going to ignore the hidden stems. They don't count. So we have the yin water, we have the yang earth, and we have the yang fire. So this qualifies with the right set of here. There is other criteria, which I'll talk about in a bit, but the hours from 9 to 11, which will be the yin fire snake, this also would qualify. So there's usually 2 hours that will qualify for each one of these. Now, the chart does not have a clash, nor does it have any controlling elements that destroy the formation, but this is a weekday master, and that appears not, that for that reason, this is probably not really, doesn't meet the full criteria. There may be some effect, but it won't be full. So, and that comes in, I'll explain a little bit more with what is stated in the book and what is stated elsewhere too about how that works. Now let's go to the complicated one. Let's instead go for the middle one, the rat. So if you have rat, you have to have both yang fire and yin metal. And then you can have any one of these 4. That's my understanding, although it is a little bit strange, but I think that's what it means. It's not 100% clear anywhere, at least not that I found yet. But this is only one possibility. This is pattern 1, where it's the first of this. Instead, you could have yang wood and yin earth along with one of these. And we're talking about, again, this is for the rat. It could also apply to the dragon or the monkey, but right now we're just doing the rat. It seems as though, because we have the yin earth here and the yin earth here, it appears to me that this is an additional one. So you can't just have one stem. with the yin earth, you have to have a second one. That's my general understanding of how this one works. But, you know, and I would say if you have at least one, you're more than halfway there. But this is the only one where you have that kind of ability to have the combination. Now both of these are water, both of these are earth. So it has that same pattern that we've been seeing. So again, this is the whole chart. If you want to take a screenshot, go right ahead. So in addition to in addition to having met that goal there, and you can look at your other pillars, but start with the month, you need to have a couple positive features for this to be really, truly a full nobleman star. So you have to have this is noble. That's a character, but I can't remember how to pronounce it. But this means, and it says in the book, people born in a flourishing month. And I'm pretty sure what that means is that the Daymaster is strong. That is, it's the right month for the Daymaster to be strong. And strong by season, not necessarily overall, but by season. Now, these two characters basically mean kind or virtuous. So if life is going well for you, it's a lot easier to be kind. And these people generally are kind no matter what. And then also having this. Now, this character is the character for elegant. And it says where the stem and main chi are harmonious. And I'm presuming, since this has to do with the Daymaster, this has to do with the day pillar. So we are looking for the case where the stem and the main chi of the branch are the same element, because otherwise there's some relationship between the two. And it's not clear if harmonious means that it's supporting the Daymaster, which could be, but certainly if it's the same, it is. So that would include the wood tiger, wood rabbit, earth dragon, fire snake, fire horse, earth goat, metal monkey, metal rooster, earth dog, water pig, water rat, and earth ox. Now the tiger and the rabbit, their main chi is wood. That's why. The dragon, the goat, the dog, and the ox, their main chi is earth. That explains that. The pig and the rat, their main chi is water. The snake and the horse, it's fire. And the monkey and the rooster, it's metal. So this is pretty clear that these are harmonious. But there is nothing more said about this. It just says they are harmonious. So there may be other ways this can also happen. And so if you had both of these, then your elegant virtue nobleman is basically fully formed, and it will give you all the benefits. So that is the fullest version, and so basically it makes you have a nice, smooth life without serious problems. It doesn't mean you won't have any, it just won't be something that's going to be a real problem for a really long time. Now, these two can also be considered as freestanding criteria, and they do go into a lot of different this kind of idea is in a lot of different places too, in different formations. So this isn't just restricted to the elegant virtue nobleman. So just be aware that you will see this again. Now, there is another thing. If there's the intelligence star, it's also called the academic star and has like a dozen different other names, and you have either IW or DW, and you have 7K or DO, so that's again 3 things, then the chances of becoming highly wealthy is likely, at least wealthy compared to the people around you. Now, as always, I give some personal observations. Neither my husband or myself have this in our month, but I have it in my year and my day, and my husband has it in his hour. We meet the criteria for all 3 of those stems, along with the particular branch of year, day, and hour. Whether or not this is functional is another question. Now, we both meet the kind and virtuous criteria, and I also meet the elegant criteria, and I have the intelligent star. So I should be rich, but I'm not. So maybe because it is not in the month, that might be the reason. And that's actually probably the reason, because I don't have it in my month. And I had in my third luck pillar, I actually had what I needed to complete it for my month. But uh, I don't think that it worked, even as a luck pillar, or at least, well, maybe it did. It's a little hard to say. But I have a feeling that, yes, you really have to have it in the month branch as a focus to make this thing truly, truly work. And again, in my third luck pillar, uh, I had the full version of this formation that with the month pillar as my focus. But this was also the luck pillar where I met this crazy ex, and so it might not work either. But at the same time, I never did marry him, so uh, it it may still have worked. Uh, I can't say I didn't have problems, and I can't say they weren't serious. I mean, I was thinking of just taking off because I feared for my life for a while because he was going off the deep end. It looked like that, not just to me, but to a lot of other people too. So now, one thing I have to say, and I probably should add this, everybody has positive and negative stars in their chart. And so don't be freaked out. I've been going through the positive ones because that makes people happier. But we will get to the negative ones in the not too distant future. It doesn't matter. The only thing with the negative star is now you know maybe where you might have a problem. And so then you avoid, when you see yourself going down the wrong way, this can help you avoid it. So don't be freaked out. Remember, your chart only affects 1/3 of your life. So your chart is not your life. And your decisions, especially if you spend some time really thinking about it, not just doing snap decisions, and whom you choose to spend your time with are much more important than your chart. So I don't want people to get freaked out if they don't have these good things, because that doesn't mean anything. You are still in charge of your life. You may not have all the opportunities as somebody else does, neither did I, and I have a number of good things in my chart, but I didn't have all these opportunities either. I just had to do the best I could with what I had, and that's what you should be doing. So that's it. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope this was at least interesting, and this is one of the more complicated ones. I don't know if they get much more complicated than this, but again, it's fairly rare, and especially if we restrict it to the month, I think it's quite rare. So hopefully it was at least informative. Thanks again for watching.